I like that. Hello and welcome to Jabberjaw. I'm your host, Jessica Dawson Collier, and with me, as always, is Tyson Wheeler Dynas and Matthew David Smith. Guys, welcome.
Thank you.
Hi.
And thank you for showing up.
Yeah. Yeah, no. All the time. That's what we do.
It's half the battle.
How
right?
are you guys doing?
Good.
Oh.
Okay, good. I'll take that. Matt?
Good. I'm doing good.
Excellent.
Better than average, I might even say.
Were you bad?
But
You're kind of sick right now, aren't you? Yeah.
I was sick like last week, but now I just kind of had, I don't know, I've been coughing a little bit today. So I don't know what's going on, but I think lots of people are sick. It's going around.
It is definitely going around.
Is it going also around in the Colorado area?
Yeah, Jonas came down with something when we got back from Austin about a week ago, and he finally got on antibiotics. So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's nasty. It has been nasty. Lots of coughing, lots of sneezing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
lots of like hawking loogies, and I'm just not. Yeah, it's
Well,
We're
flu,
very close, so whatever.
Could be flu's kind of come back to her, so
it's making the rounds.
Right, it really got outshone for the last couple of years by COVID, but now it's like, hey, I'm still here. I can still kill the elderly.
Yeah, that hawking
Remember
loogie
me,
thing.
bitches? Yeah.
that
hawking loogie act? What?
Yeah, no, that actually that makes me like almost vomit every time. That's I have a snot thing, and I can trace it back to my grandmother, bless her heart. She used to hawk up something into a Kleenex and then look at it, and I was like,
no,
I'm gonna die. Well, I mean, she did it at the dinner table, so like it was not my favorite thing in the world. Yeah. So,
did you just slowly push your plate forward? Like, yeah, I'm done. I'm good.
No, I'm literally like, I'm sorry, but it's still, I can see her still doing it across the table, like hawking into a Kleenex and then looking at it and then being like, and me thinking is like, what is that? Like, like when they dump the bones on the floor, and can tell their future or whatever. Like, no, that's, what are you doing? Like, just don't. I assume she was looking for green versus yellow, but I don't.
Right. Well, yeah, that's like all you had to go. 100 years ago, that's all you had to go on. Like the color
that's true.
that you like came out of your body, and it was sort of like reading palms, but it was sort of like.
Yeah, but every time. I mean, even when you don't feel sick, I mean, that seems like that seems excessive to me.
Yeah, a little bit. I'd agree with that.
She was a fine grandmother, but I didn't like that. Anyway,
see, apparently this is stuck with you. The phlegm at the dinner table.
Phlegm is bad. I don't like that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that word either. I'm not a fan of it. And hankies.
Yeah, phlegm, really?
Wow.
Yeah, phlegm. Oh no, phlegm. And
is it just the mouthfeel?
Do you just try to avoid your nose or other people's noses in general, Tice?
Well,
like anything that's happening there?
The greatest irony of my entire life is that I produce more mucus than probably anyone on the planet, and it has to come out. And if it goes down my throat or whatever, I start gagging and throwing up. I mean, I can, dog shit, people shit, vomit, any of this stuff I'm fine with, but it's like, but the stuff that creates into my skull and down into my body, which keeps my stomach from burning a hole in it. I know I should be at peace with it, but I'm just not. So
anyway. That's fair. We all have our quirks.
Oh my God. That is my biggest quirk, by the way. That and Dick Cheney. But but it's but that's the worst, yeah. So like it will make me Anyway, hey, how's it going,
everyone?
This
has been the most disgusting first 4 minutes of our podcast ever.
Quite possibly. It's good to have a benchmark. So yeah, let's.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I don't know where
A
that.
lot about you. I learned a lot about you guys in the last.
Yeah.
Wow.
Feel
Me.
closer. Feel a lot closer.
I probably I'm sure I've left Kleenexes places, and he's been like,
God.
That is not incorrect. That is not incorrect.
Oh my God! Secrets
everyone,
revealed.
Everyone in my life, I used to get in a fight. I used to get in a fight with my ex brother-in-law because if I had to blow my nose, I needed to blow my nose. I had to get it out of my system, and and so I would use a paper towel, and he'd be like, "That costs so much more than a Kleenex," and I'd be like, "Well, I don't see any Kleenex." I'm like, "Look, anything when I got to get the snot out of my fucking skull, uh, I got newspaper, magazine, whatever, any kind of thing that I can crumple up and get rid of is fair play." So anyway, did you guys see the big game? I'm sorry, no, I don't. There's no big game. I just want to change the subject. Sorry.
That's fine.
wow, it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. It's a safe space. The big game. Yes, it was lovely.
It was Warnock versus Herschel.
Oh,
that big game! Yay!
that was yeah, that was fun to watch. It was all wrapped up too by 9:30.
I love that. I wish every election night would go like that.
It was one state and one candidate. So okay, I'm glad we were able to do this. But yeah, 9:30 went. Everything went smoothly, but it was because they made a statement that day that was funny because they made a statement that said we don't expect to have the results tonight or something to that effect. Well, of course they did, because it was probably not quite as close as they thought it would be. So yeah, no, that was a fun one. That was a good election to watch.
That
was fun. Yeah, and it early, like you said, it ended early, which is a nice change.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's going past 12:30 p.m. The PTSD starts kicking in. I'm like, oh shit, we've been before, and it usually ends badly for us.
For sure.
Yeah. In the witching hour. Bad time for Democrats.
Georgia and Florida are becoming synonymous with uncomfortable results. Although this is the first Democratic guy that's actually won a second term in the Senate in Georgia forever. Actually, maybe
no kidding. Really?
I didn't know that statistic. That's cool.
I didn't either. I didn't either.
They dabble in democracy, but now they're going for it. I like that. It's cool.
Yeah, no, I didn't make it up. But yeah. That's
You didn't make that up, Tyson. No,
I didn't make it up. Yeah. And six. Okay.
You know why that is, right? You know why that is? Because he has a Ninja Turtle name.
Is that how it works?
Yep, that's how it works.
Raphael. Yeah, I'm sure when his parents named him, they were like,
"The power of the ooze." Yeah.
Raphael had the sigh, right? He was one of the sighs.
He had the sigh. Swords. Yes. Yep.
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay. Did you guys know? I was into the comic book because that was kind of a big deal when I was collecting comic books. But that was well before the cartoon. Were you guys really into that stuff? I mean, I'm sure it sounds like you were.
Yes, absolutely.
Matt?
My brother and I thought they were real at one point.
So I remember. Well, I was.
What was that conversation like?
I'm younger than you guys, by the way. And more gullible, I should say.
I was in a different reading group than Dawson was, and so we were fully aware that the Ninja Turtles were fictional characters, but I remember in the fourth
Hey, they were performing live at Radio City Music Hall in New York City. That was the first time, and I shit you not, I was like, I gotta move there. I gotta go there. I gotta find the Ninja Turtles.
The Ninja Turtles live there.
There's footage of that on YouTube, by the way. I highly recommend you guys all watch that.
Oh, really?
If it's still on YouTube, I believe there's a.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I believe you can watch some of their performance on YouTube. Yes.
Amazing.
It is. I mean, it's as good. It's as good as Death as a Salesman. Maybe not as good, but it's definitely better than Cats. So.
I had two
That's a
friends who
review.
were like really into the Turtles. It was probably about 1988. So it was definitely like I don't know, when did the original comic come out? 84?
Yeah, 84, 85, something like that.
Yeah, and so I think so. They were in like when it was just a comic book, but starting to get popular. Because I remember like that's like what we would do in class is like draw Ninja Turtles. Like, and I still to this day remember how to like draw muscles. Like there's a line, there's another overlapping line, so I can still draw a semi-adequate Ninja Turtle. My friend
cool.
Jeff, Jeff Murphy,
you're
was
on my Pictionary team.
And he actually had the with the 4 or 6 the original black and white series or whatever. Like
the Eastman Ward. Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Yes.
Shit.
They were very valuable for a long time. They were the first indie comic that got really valuable.
Yeah, that's right. Like self-financed and
Wow.
Tice,
do you have any of those?
I have some of their. No, I don't have that first 6 anywhere, but I have some of their stuff that they did. A little bit later on before the cartoon was going on. So they really caught on. They also spawned a bunch of stuff. Like I'm trying to think of some of the names, but adolescent radioactive black belt hamsters. There were a bunch of different knockoff type of comic books that were the same.
Yeah.
But Eastman and Lard, they really cashed in on that deal. So
my favorite for some reason was in the UK. It was rebranded as Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles for some reason, because for some reason Ninja had some weird, I don't know, maybe you know more about it than I do, but they rebranded like the video game and the movies and everything as Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe they just, well, I don't know. Europeans, what are you gonna do?
That's true. Maybe Ninja was too cheesy, but
maybe Ninja was like, I don't know what that is. Maybe if we put Teenage Mutant Scotsman Turtles or something. I don't know. But,
that would have been more fun, I feel like. Yeah.
Just to be hard to read their little bubbles because it'd be such heavy, accents, But
oh yeah.
That's, I would recommend if you're a fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Girls, there's Teenage.
I was just gonna say, did we just
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Is that my new fake band?
It is your new band, and you need to play bass. No, there's an episode of a show on Netflix called "The Toys That Made Us," and they did an episode of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is very interesting and actually kind of biting.
I should watch
because you should definitely watch it. You should watch the whole series if you like toys. Like the He-Man episode is really interesting. The G.I. Joe episode's kind of interesting, but the He-Man episode is really interesting. But anyway, but yeah, the Turtles is good too because they actually reconnected 2 guys, and they haven't talked for like 30 years, so it's kind of a thing. Anyway.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's worth watching. If you watch, like, it's the same people that did the movies that made us.
I really like that series. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, the Toys That Made Us. They did 2 seasons of it. I think 8 episodes total, but worth watching.
Did they talk about what the value of the toys are now? Like, if you still possess them? Because this might make my mother's life, actually, because I'm pretty sure she's kept literally every one of my brother's toys.
Are they still in the original packaging? Probably not. Not to nerd out right now.
No.
I mean, there were some.
There might be a few. There might be a few, but most of them not so much.
A lot of people like buy these toys and they reassemble them, or they take pieces and whatever and they repaint them and then sell them for profit. It's very strange. Yeah, like because I collected G.I. Joe toys for a long time, and not a long time, when I was a kid, and I bought some when I was an adult. I did it. Sorry, everybody. Anyway, the thing is, a lot of these people will buy these toys, these action figures, and repaint them, really nicely, and then sell them for a huge profit because you can. Yeah, well, I mean,
like a custom paint job.
yeah. Like, so it's like, you can take. There was a Sergeant Slaughter GI Joe toy, and they'll take it and then they'll repaint it into something else. Not It's still Sergeant Slaughter, but sometimes they change the characters, and then they'll resell it for like $40 or $50 more than they bought it for. Uh, which is just a good example that there's a market for everyone who has anything that is interested about anything. You just have to figure out how to do it.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because
the more you know.
Wow, if I had any painting skills, I'd paint that GI Joe man. But thank God somebody else out there paints GI Joe men.
Exactly. I don't have the skills.
Fair price for that.
I don't have the steady hand in order to do that, to add that detail.
No.
Jesus.
Any of that detail model. I tried to build models when I was a kid.
How did that go for you?
I need a big margin of error. Model work has a very little margin of error. And so
You're right. Really, I had problems putting decals on things. Like my decals might be crooked. I imagine trying to paint stuff. But there's a huge market. You can buy these things and you paint these little Warhammer 40,000 or whatever. All these different things you can paint all this stuff. And it's just if you have that level of skill and that's your hobby, you should be able to find a job, right? Doing something.
Yeah, I would think so.
Right? I've done a couple people. One that did the Warhammer stuff in particular, and that dude he was a brief roommate of a friend of mine's, and he just would do that shit for hours. He'd be under the microscope and just painting the gnome toe and just it was. Yeah, I don't know. It's I get it. People, knit. I mean, I get it. A tedious hobby. I get it.
Yeah, however you find your zen, whatever.
Right. And then after the end of that 100 hours, you can sell it on Etsy.
Well, that's true. Actually, Etsy has a big
note. It says something like, "I enjoyed making this for you," something to that effect. Anyway,
I think Gnome Toe is Dawson's new band name. Sorry, it's better.
Yes, Gnome Toe done.
It's actually pretty good. Pretty good band name, yeah.
I know. We're thinking of all of them. I love it.
Because I'm guessing they're little, or maybe they're disproportionately large. I think they'd be disproportionately large.
I feel like they'd be large. Yeah.
All right. All right.
Gnome toes?
Yeah, gnome toes. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Don't you think
I feel large. I feel large.
Okay, yeah, I had to think about it for a minute. I feel large.
Oh, God. Good times.
Yeah, sorry. It's been I'm having a weird day, everybody. I got a weird energy going on tonight. Everybody enjoy it.
You got a weird energy? That's all right. You like it.
Me too. My sister, bless her heart, I was telling Matt this. She, I don't know what happened, but she bought me an arcade game. One of these 3/4 arcade games. So I have to assemble it, but it's a Simpsons game.
What?
So,
which one?
It's really. Well, the one where the 4-player one where you would play it was the very first Simpsons game, the arcade game.
Wow. Yeah, it's Sally. That's freaking awesome.
I know. So
Jesus,
I have to.
Don't tell my brother. My Christmas is gonna suck ass comparison.
That's what I told her. I was like, "There's not." Well, I didn't tell her, but in my brain, I yelled at her, "I can't compete." But the actual, I got to put it together. But it's pretty cool. And so the grandkids are coming, and they have become Simpsons fans because the only toys I let them play with are a bunch of Simpsons. Well, the only toys I have for them, to be fair, let them play with. That's not very nice.
Until they learn to take stuff off your shelf and then open the packages, and
that is probably going to be a thing that's probably going to be a thing that's going to happen this trip. Anyway, so I have a drawer full of Simpsons action figures. So anyway, they love the Simpsons. They do not understand the Simpsons. They've never watched an episode of the Simpsons. But
someday they will. You're laying the foundation.
They will.
That's what matters. Yeah.
I'm working on it. Yeah.
And what do your
Meow.
grandkids call you again, Tice?
Bam Bam, and Beth is Pebbles. We're Pebbles and Bam Bam.
So cute.
It was important for their mother to have a separate name for every, because there's 4 sets of grandparents. So she wanted to have the kids to have a separate. And she shot some ideas to us, and I didn't like any of them, so I said, let's be Bam Bam Pebbles, and so that's good. It's fun to hear the kids yell Bam Bam,
I'm sure.
Yeah, so I'm old.
Especially while they're playing your drums and screaming, I'm sure. Or do you allow them to play with your drums? Is that that's grandpa's sacred zone? Don't go there.
Oh, you're cutting out. Sorry.
I'm
sorry.
Uh-oh.
Are we losing internet?
No, we're fine. I think I lost it for a second.
Oh.
But anyway.
Okay.
You're a little scrambly. I'm not gonna lie. Smith, does he look a little scrambly?
You actually both.
But you look scrambly.
Man, I thought we had this video technology shit figured out I don't know 4 years ago. We did this all through COVID. Now
it's all tits up now because everybody's again.
Should we just say inside baseball for everyone? We're thinking about changing softwares. So
yeah, if anyone has suggestions, please send us a message on the socials.
Yeah. Oh, who sent that message to Matt about the Trent Reznor thing? That was great.
Oh, Anna Towns. Shout out.
Oh, thank you. I enjoyed that. Yeah, that was fun. Thanks, Anna. Yeah. So true.
I liked it.
So true.
So true. So true. Sorry, I'm very low energy tonight, fellas. I feel like today's been a very long day. Has it felt to you like today should be Friday? That's how I feel my week has gone. It has been. It has
felt like Friday since yesterday. It's been weird. I don't know. So for some reason yesterday, Kathy and I were both talking about that. Oh my God, what? So I don't know. Weird. Yeah, just one of those cosmic.
Mercury in retrograde. I never,
I don't know.
keep up on that shit, but it feels like it is.
I don't know. Mercury in the water stream. I don't know. It's something. Something made the week.
Something's going on.
Yeah. No, but we are getting closer. Well, tomorrow will be Thursday, and then it will be Friday. Yes, the month is evaporating rapidly. We're just looking at our calendars last night, and it's just oh, okay, well.
Right? Isn't it wild that it's going to be 2023? Even that concept to me, I'm like, how is that possible? What happened in 2020 and 2021? Whatever.
I don't know.
Well, they went away.
Thanks, pandemic. Fair. Yeah.
Thanks. I enjoyed the pandemic. All things considered, I kind of enjoyed it. I'm not going to lie.
I liked it because people were afraid of me. I like that. That was great. I mean, everyone was afraid of everyone. It was great.
That's true. That's true.
It's true. So, in favor of the 6-foot rule for decades, and finally we got a window. Just stay away. No, pretend you're big and just
pretend you're big. I want to be big.
It takes a virus to make my point, so be it. Anyway.
Well, do you guys want to do some headlines?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And jump into it?
Yes.
Jump into it.
Of the week.
Anyone watching on video could see me pointing at her. You don't know that I'm pointing at her, but that's what's happening.
That's for the YouTube crowd.
The Utes.
The Utes.
So I was pretty cool. I was pretty cool this week, I think, about my headlines.
I heard reports that you were pretty cool this week, Tyson. So it's good.
Yeah,
that's a good place to be.
I was what was that dress thing? It was the hot or not. Anyway, so This is the only kind of weird.
Oh my God, it's hot or not? Holy shit! That was like the fourth thing we did with the internet. Like we're like, it was like we're gonna sell books, we're gonna offer porn, hot or not, and Ask Jeeves. Yeah.
Hot or not, I don't know who came up with that, but they made $1 billion and then retired to the Bahamas. I'm sure. So this is not. This is
a great line to like tell a girl at a bar in the Bahamas, be like, "Oh, what do you do?" I'm retired. I invented hot or not, and I don't know what else to talk about.
And any girl of her salt would be like, "What do you think, hot or not?" And be like, "Hold on, let me take a picture." No, you'd be like, "You're an 8, but not a 10 because you want to score." Anyway, so this is my headline. It's from CNN, and it's kind of a weird thing, but I want to get into it. Indonesia bans sex outside of marriage as parliament passes sweeping new criminal code. It's from CNN. Okay, so did you guys hear about this? May or may not.
No, I think so.
No.
So Indonesia, they're on a crash course into Muslim weirdness, but that's fine. Anyway, they passed a law. It's not going to go in effect till 3 years, but basically what they're saying is that no one in Indonesia can have sex with anyone unless they're married. Right? Okay. So the interesting bit about this is that it applies to tourists as well. So people coming to visit Thailand or Bali or wherever you might go in Thailand would be under that law as well. So that's bad for tourism, obviously.
Oh, it's real bad for tourism in Thailand. I'm guessing because that's like the numero uno driver of tourism in Thailand. So
exactly. Yeah, I mean,
anyway.
Thai food is great. It's a great, and they have, obviously a sexcapade. But even like, people that aren't married that go and have vacation there could be under, if they are caught having sex, they could be jailed.
If they're not married.
If they're not married. So, the tourism board is not having a great time with this because every country, including Thailand, has a tourism board. They're not having a great time with this. I thought it was pretty interesting that they're going to have to deal with that. I assume that they're going to amend that at some point. But who knows? Because honestly, like if they allow it for tourists, then what are they going to do about everyone else? It's a dumb law. So there you go. Anyway, thoughts, confusion, questions?
No,
if you got nothing,
it was interesting. No. It was actually
I got nothing.
Pretty interesting. Yeah.
The next, I have a couple little fun things now for the rest of the thing. Wordle is the most searched term on Google in 2022. So
what is a Wordle, really?
Wordle was the most searched term. I don't know that they were searching it to cheat. I assume that's why they were cheating. I assume they were cheating, right? Like, because they're going to test your Wordle and being like,
probably.
"Oh, what's today's Wordle?"
Yeah.
I'm too tired to do this.
Like I say,
just give me the answer.
Wordle is like golf. You play against yourself. You should not cheat. That's fine. So I also have a list of the hottest words of 2022. These are the words that got put into the 5 different dictionaries this year.
Oh, okay.
So in the Oxford languages, the term was goblin mode. Are you familiar with that?
I'm not familiar with that term. No.
I don't believe I am either.
Okay, hold on. Let me
Point of clarification.
Kill this. Okay, here you go. Wow. This is in my way. Fucking pop-ups. Are you fucking kidding me? Anyway, fuck.
Never mind.
I'm so fucking mad right now. There's a pop-up. Anyway, Goblin mode is wow. I can't. Anyway, Gobble mode basically means that you don't give a shit. You're just, like you're not taking care of your house. You're eating whatever you want. You don't give. It's the opposite of living a woke, proper life. You don't wake up early. You do whatever you want. And it rejects social norms and expectations, which is the only line that I can read because of this goddamn pop-up. Anyway, um, Collins Dictionary, the word of the year was permacrisis, an extended period of instability and insecurity. I like that term, permacrisis.
That's pretty good.
Merriam-Webster's word was gaslighting, which we all know, the act or practice of grossly
that was already
misleading
in
someone,
there.
especially for.
All right.
Well, this is the word of the year for. I don't know if it got added or it wasn't, but this is Merriam-Webster, so there's like the act of or practice of grossly misleading someone, especially for one's own advantage. Cambridge Dictionary, the word was Homer. This is interesting because a Homer was an answer on Wordle this year. And a homer, which means short for home run, is not a word that everyone across the globe understands, right? So they looked it up on the dictionary, and it was the most looked up word this year because it was the answer for Wordle, right? So that was kind of interesting. And then the last one is this Australian English dictionary. The term is teal like the color. A political candidate who holds generally ideologically moderate views, but who supports strong action regarding environmental and climate action policies and the prioritizing of integrity in politics. So there's like one of those in the United States. And last, I want to read this tweet from Stephen King. It says, "I learned a new phrase today, going goblin. I intend to use it at every opportunity." So those are the words of the year.
Yay!
Yeah.
Anyone? Bueller? Okay.
No, it's kind of probably gaslighting. I would have assumed that would have been like an older term, but I guess I don't know. Maybe they move a little slow
by that. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, maybe they move a little slow. Maybe they have to really sort of enter the lexicon before.
Actually, there's a play that came out in the 1910s and 1920s called Gaslighting, which explains how gaslighting works. Basically, what happened was the husband kept turning down the gas lights in the house to try to drive his wife crazy, and she kept saying she was like, it seems darker and darker every day, and he's like, you're going crazy, you don't know what
Interesting.
So
I did not know that either. Story. That's very cool. I did not know that. Huh.
Also, there was a movie version of it, and Angela Lansbury played. That was her first movie that she was in.
The recently late Angela Lansbury. I might have
that's
to.
Right, yeah. It was her first. She actually got. I believe she got an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress in that.
No kidding. Oh.
I believe that's true. I could be completely making that up.
It's all right. I'm not going to call you a liar. I'm not checking Google.
I'll hold you to it. Find that shit out later.
Yeah, do it.
Come on, producers.
This is from CNN. Navy carries out secret mission to drop ping pong balls on Army rivals ahead of annual football game. Okay, so basically, the Army and Navy, before they play each other in their annual football game, they do pranks or whatever. So I'm just wondering how much this cost the. And now I'm not against this, by the way. So I'm just curious how much this costs taxpayers to do this prank. Let me find the correct terminology here, or the words here. It was crisp December afternoon as 3 small planes circled their objective, making 12 total passes overhead as they dropped leaflets from the aircraft, watching as they fluttered softly to the ground. So the leaflets said "Beat Army," and the other ones said "Fly Navy," and they also dropped a bunch of ping pong balls on everyone. The air-to-ground Spirit mission that occurred just before noon on Monday is the latest in a long tradition of rivalry and pranks. The U.S. Naval Academy and West Point launch against one another on this hallowed week each year for each institution. The week of the Army-Navy football game, Saturday afternoon, yada, yada, yada. 12 delivery passes dropped, beat Army and Flying Navy leaflets along with ping pong balls over Army West Point's The Apron. So anyway, they dropped all this shit. And then the Army came back and they were like, unfortunately, not all the drops hit the intended targets. They kind of went back and kind of made fun of them. Anyway, they did 12 passes and they dropped ping pong balls and leaflets. I hope that they were just doing a flyover anyway, but I don't.
I don't. What was the prank? Just like, oh, there's ping pong balls.
Yeah, there's ping pong. That's what I was wondering. Like,
they dropped leaflets and ping pong balls on the army
I don't. It's kind of lame, guys. I feel like you could do better than that. I'm just gonna say
I feel like it was very. I feel like it was very expensive.
Please don't hurt me.
I mean, the flight's probably, I don't know. I mean, it's, it's probably better than, I mean, considering like what the military spends money on, that was probably.
Oh, well, that's true.
You know what? Yeah, I'm fine with it, actually. If that was an expenditure, I'm okay with it.
If there's a prank budget, they need a bigger one. I'm just going to say they need a bigger one.
Why not?
It sounds like they need a bigger one. Yeah.
A $1.3 billion prank budget that goes into the military every year. A lot of times it's just a bunch of fake grenades.
We'll stick it in the egg bill. Nobody will ever notice.
Most streamed songs in Spotify in 2022. You guys have any guesses on the lead artist?
It's got to be Taylor Swift.
I'm wondering if I recognize a single song from. I bet I don't, but go ahead. No, I have no. I would guess the Taylor
Swift.
Based
on how Hurdle's been going, yeah, it could be fucking anything.
God, no, ugh, children.
The number one top songs. Okay, teach them well. Teach them well. Top songs on Spotify in 2022. The number one was "As It Was" by Harry Styles. This surprised me. "Heat Waves" by Glass Animals. That was number 2.
Oh, really? Wow, good for them.
Yeah, I don't like them, but
wow,
I don't either.
"Stay" with Justin Bieber by the Kid Laroi. "Mi Porto Bonito" by Bad Bunny featuring Chinchito Carlino.
I was like, this whole Bad Bunny thing came out of nowhere, and I was like, I've heard about this Bad Bunny character. I guess they're really into him in Brazil or somewhere.
And the fifth song is also by Bad Bunny. I actually read a different article that said that Bad Bunny had the most international downloads. I couldn't find the article. With 18 billion or something ridiculous like that.
Have you guys heard Bad Bunny? Have you sampled?
I saw him I saw him on Saturday Night Live last year, I guess. And he was fine. He's gonna be in a Spider-Man themed movie coming up, where he plays a professional wrestler. It is the loosest Spider-Man adjacent movie I've ever even heard of. This character he's playing was only in one Spider-Man comic book back in the 80s. So I mean, it's so should be interesting.
Yeah, I had this thought the other day, completely off topic, but I had this thought the other day. I wanted to ask you about it just because it kind of reminds me of this. But like, at what point do like the Marvel and DC universes just become absurd and they've hoarded the brand out so much that, you know what I'm saying? Because like, it seems like they are just I mean, is there chatter amongst your people? What's the word on the street? What's the word in the
what's the word? Store? Yeah.
Maybe I'm the only one. It seems to me like it's just like the. Go ahead.
No, I think what the fans want is they want them to fix the things that haven't been very good. So they just want it to be better than it has been. So like they're just being like, but I will tell you, Sony purchased the rights to Spider-Man, and in that purchase right, they got a list of like 4,000 characters that they can use, and this goes down to like some guy was on one page in one Spider-Man comic book one time. There's like 4,000. There's a
That came
list of
along
like
with the
4,000
initial movie rights.
that came with what came, with the Spider-Man rights.
Wow, that's crazy.
So
okay.
what Sony is, it is, and as a avid comic book fan, I've read through this list. I mean, I could only make it through 1,000, but it's ridiculous. Like, they're just terrible characters. Nobody would ever give a fuck about any of these characters, like at all. But Sony is trying to cash in on the Spider-Man thing, and so instead of like focusing on like getting good filmmakers and writing good scripts, they're more focused on being like, okay, we could use this guy. The Bad Bunny guy is going to be a lucho wrestler, right?
Uh-huh.
So, like, and he was in one comic book and never ever been So anyway, no one's tired of it. I think Quentin Tarantino's tired of it. All these filmmakers are tired of it because whatever. But I don't think anybody, because comic books are just like literature or movies in that there's a lot of different tones in all these different things. So you could just make a different kind of television show, a different kind of movie. So
right.
I don't see it. I don't see it going away for a little while. But I mean, people are.
I just wondered if, it just seems like they're doing a lot, and I just wondered if there's like the overexposure was possible, just like with everything else. Yeah. So
I mean, but that's where the money is. They make all this money on this shit. I mean, I watched Black Adam. I haven't reviewed it on the show because I could only watch half of it because it's so bad. Like, I mean, it's Black Adam. It's so bad. It's so bad. So I mean, I couldn't even finish it. I need to finish it, but so like there's terrible stuff out there, but
yeah.
But anyway, Bad Bunny, check him out.
Bad Bunny, check him out.
This is my last line. And Beth just gave this to me before I came. Crazy candy cane flavors that you won't believe exist. I just sent you a picture of Twinkies flavored candy canes that I saw in the store. So I'm just gonna bust through these.
Not gonna try it.
Clam.
What?
Mac and cheese.
Oh my god.
Archie McPhee makes the clam ones. Archie McPhee makes a bunch of these. Mac and cheese, caramel macchiato, which makes sense. Like, that would be delicious.
That makes sense. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Pickle, Sour Patch Kids.
Sour Patch Kids is fine.
Ham.
No.
Oh, I would try ham.
I would try ham.
For real?
It's like peanut butter vodka. You gotta try it and see what it tastes like. Green apple, kale, mystery.
Oh, is it still like dirt? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it tastes like dirt. Yeah. Pizza. And this is my favorite. Okay. Flavorless. So this actually, you can buy this. You can buy flavorless. It has no stripes on it, and it tastes like nothing.
Oh, okay. The point.
Sweet tarts. That's the last one. So those. I had a lot of fun headlines. I didn't want to talk about any kind of nonsense this week. But I mean, I was gonna let Matt tackle the hard stuff. So
I didn't really have the much hard stuff this week. We already kind of talked about the election, which I thought went about as well as we could have asked for. So
yeah,
congratulations, Georgia. Again, a reminder: not a blue state by any stretch of the imagination. This is just real. It shows that you can be too stupid for the Republican Party. We've learned one thing from Herschel Walker is that you can be too dumb for the Republican Party. We have reached that bright line, and it is Herschel Walker. But anyway, that was good to see.
That's the best thing that ever happened to him, though. Not winning.
I'm sure they're probably still explaining it to him. Yeah. It's like, I wonder who got that job, right? Like, oh, jeez. Yeah. The videos and the memories will live forever, and I'm sure. Oh yes, he'll be like a good good punchline for years and decades to come. I do kind of feel bad though, because like that dude's like legacy is just like done. You know what I mean? Like he's like, he was like an impartial figure. Like he was an impartial sort of like, Herschel Walker in my mind up until like 4 or 5 years ago. I was like, great football player. That's all I cared, and that's all I thought about. Now I think Herschel Walker, great football, dipshit. So it's kind of like that's half the country now. So that's what you did to that's what your exposure running for politics.
It's Donald Trump. Like, I read his article.
So it worked out. Nice.
What?
Oh,
hello.
Sorry. No, I was just thinking that I read this thing where like if someone famous says they like Donald Trump, then Donald Trump would be like, you should run. And that's how you get these idiots, that should not be running, They're like, I got a huge boost from Trump, and
I know. Really and I do kind of feel bad for Herschel Walker, and I do think he was exploited a little bit, and it's just I don't know. It's just ugly, just stuff, I guess, all the way around. But
did you guys see? I don't know if you saw this. There's such a delay going on right now.
There's a weird echo going on.
I don't know if you saw this, but he had a campaign stop where he explained in detail why he would rather be a vampire than a werewolf. No, he'd rather be a werewolf than a vampire. Did you guys see that? It was like
I did see that.
7 minutes.
Yeah. Obama actually like threw some shade.
Not a great campaign.
All right. Well, some sad news. I just saw this right before the show, and I don't know if you'd heard this, Tyson or Dawson, but Caroline's Comedy Club's closing December 31st. Did either of you seen that?
No. Why?
Yeah, it just says that I decided not to renew renew the lease. It's been at Times Square since '92, 40 years, and I would say Caroline's is. I mean, there's a handful, 4 or 5, but like probably one of the top 4 or 5 comedy clubs. So kind of surprised by that. I guess it's just too expensive for a comedy club in Times Square now. I'm not sure, but
that sucks.
Yeah. It says final night on 31st. Just it just sounds that sounds like they can't afford to renew their lease, which really kind of sucks. That the culture is getting sort of I don't know, pushed out.
Yeah, it's just going to continue happening, unfortunately.
It is, and we'll just have I don't know. But anyway, it's sad.
Unless you make it like a historical landmark, but it hasn't been around that long.
Hopefully, there's lots of fucking rich people in New York. Hopefully, some of them have a sense of humor, and they're like, hopefully somebody steps up. Like, it's very iconic, and they do talk a little bit about like the brand and trying to continue the brand, which I get, but like, I mean, it happened to CBGB's 5-6 years ago, same thing. They shut down, so it's just I don't know, different time. Next, this one. So I'm going to read the headline, and then it's a please. Meta threatens to remove news content over U.S. journalism bargaining bill. Yes, please, Meta, absolutely do that. Facebook would be such a better place if there were not news feeds and news content. And I don't know. I know you thought you were being a big I'm going to do this if you don't do this. Smartest thing he probably ever thought of. So, so there's legislation. I think. Yeah. So the legislation, I think, basically I think they're partially responsible, like could be financially responsible for content they share on the platform. And so they don't want this. I don't know a whole lot about do you happen to know much about the legislation, Tyson?
No, I think it just gives them a larger, sort of more of a larger push to negotiate whether their news stuff gets put on there. I think is that like some people can link it on from another website, and then that could be stopped. I think so, but I'm not
Okay.
totally sure.
Yeah. Oh, it says it's one of several tech-focused antitrust bills. So yeah, of course they're not happy about any of these because
they should get on news though.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really think that's such a simple solution. That's like, if these, it's not a solution that would certainly work for Twitter, but it's one that works for Facebook. And it's like, you can still share pictures of your food and your children, and you don't have to have stuff from Fox News and, see, it just makes sense. It's like, I think make everyone happier and it would be a better place because I don't know. So yeah, Mark, do it. Do good for humanity.
Do it.
Do it, Mark.
You can do it.
So we're gonna from one billionaire dipshit to another, Elon Musk. So this was really. Did you guys see the stuff about the Neuralink and the monkeys this week?
A little, yeah.
So this happened like a day or two after Elon tweeted something about how he was planning on having human brain implants ready sometime next year. And then within 24 hours, all this information got released about basically how the article I found is from The Sun. It says, monkey see, monkey do. Funny, The Sun. Inside Elon Musk's Neuralink test that left monkeys dying and chewing off their own fingers as Twitter boss readies human trials. A bunch of former employees who were working on this came forward also this week and said they killed upwards of 1,500 animals for the sake of... Yeah, at what point, does the evil genius thing just not... And I'm even going to kind of not sort of... I'm going to qualify the genius part a little bit, but this is... it's just shit. He's literally killing... it's kind of ridiculous, so... Yeah, Elon Musk. We're not a fan here at the podcast. It's all right. The world,
as it turns out,
slowly figuring it out. Next, I'm going to skip that one. The whole. I was trying to find an entree into this whole Alex Jones thing and the Kanye West stuff. They met with this kid Nick Fuentes, who, I don't know, is a noted white supremacist and Kanye's BFF now. And so they all went down to Mar-a-Lago.
What a weird thing to be known as. What a weird thing to be known as. He's known as a noted white supremacist. He's 24 years old.
I think he sort of made his bones in the North Carolina, or was that the riots of was it 2017?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he kind of gained notoriety there. He's I tell you what, if you're an articulate racist, you will go far. Holy shit. That's what he's an articulate racist. And so he becomes the king. He's it's like Lord of the Flies. He's he's our leader.
He's like if Stephen Miller was less of a pussy, he'd be this guy.
Absolutely, yes. Stephen Miller, right. Yeah. If Stephen Miller had the balls to be as evil as he looks, which I don't think any of us want
exactly,
that.
Exactly.
But anyway, so apparently, long story short, they went down. They had the meeting with Trump. Apparently, even the Republican Party has a problem with Trump meeting with Kanye and white supremacists, and so he issued the statement, said, "I don't know this Nick Fuentes kid. I got no idea who he is. He was a guest." So, Kanye offered during this meeting for Trump to be his vice presidential running mate. for Trump to be the vice presidential running mate, which did not make Trump happy. So Trump got pissed off at Kanye. Well, now Kanye last week appeared on Alex Jones wearing like a full like face hoodie, like in disguise, but it was Kanye. And with Nick Fuentes again, went on the Alex Jones show, and they out-Hitlered Alex Jones. I'm like, so Alex Jones had to make a statement today, basically distancing himself from Kanye West, basically being like, yeah, they've got this, using his own words, homoerotic fixation on Hitler that I just can't hang with. So too batshit crazy for Alex Jones is Kanye West 24. Or I refuse to call him.
Yeah.
I refuse to call him Ye. It just, I hope he finds it disrespectful. That's why I call him Kanye.
Yes.
So, even though it's shorter, I
actually think we should call him Diddy. I think that would be the most disrespectful thing to Kanye. But
to call him
Diddy.
How many name changes do you get? Like, that's what I don't know.
That's a good question.
I think it depends on. I have a feeling this is the one last of his.
You can
I have a feeling like. Yeah, I'm actually. It'll be interesting to see how irrelevant he might become. I don't know. It's very possible. What do you think? I mean, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, it's been a long time since he put out an album of bangers.
Yeah, I know. The staff at Pitchfork has been real perplexed with themselves the last 5 years. Like, we have to find genius in this. Like, if we have to hire more people, let's do it. But we've got to find some genius in this.
Done is the shit.
Yeah. Comes on its own MP3 player, just like it's 2004. It's genius. And more just real quick, batshit crazy stuff from Trump, which also, Trump had obviously a bad night with the Herschel Walker thing. What I loved about this is he talked about they wanted him to do a rally because, all the people love the Trump rally, free wieners and hot dogs. And he did want to go to Georgia, so he literally phoned it in. He did like a virtual Trump rally, which just going to say right now, if you're at home watching a virtual Trump rally, you're all the more reason why we need to stop funding rural broadband right now, because I hear this. It's what caused Trump. Let's stop it right now. It's bad policy. Let them use dial-up. It's all they've earned. But anyway, Trump basically called for the suspension of the Constitution. He basically just said after he's at this point, like, it just doesn't even matter. like Republicans are distancing themselves. He's losing. He's losing really badly now, and it's kind of fun to watch. And anyway, that was the last one I had. No real fun, quirky news this week, but I have hope for next week. So we're getting closer to Christmas. Some quirky Christmas news. Something adorable is bound to happen in my immediate future. I hope.
It'll happen.
Fingers crossed.
The only stuff I had, it was just like Kanye news, which I'm like, I don't even really want to talk about anymore.
Well, I don't want to gloss over it. I mean,
no, you definitely but he has to pay $200,000 a month in child support. That was fun.
Oh, shit.
And then Elon kicked him off of Twitter after he posted swastika. So that was another fun post.
That is awesome that they calculated his child support before all his deals canceled. So I'm sure they probably extrapolated his expected income like right before he got fired by everybody. So
absolutely,
good on you, Kim. I'm a Kardashian fan at this point. Yeah, just
Kim. And then the other one I wanted to talk about. This is a headline courtesy of C. Money Caldwell. Maker of TGI Fridays mozzarella sticks sued for containing no mozzarella, just cheddar. So, it's a really funny article. If you have USA Today, you should definitely read it. Apparently, there's this woman named Amy Joseph who is a serial plaintiff, and this is like 1 of 10 like times she's tried to sue someone, and this is actually going through. So, good for you, Amy.
Yeah, no, keep at it. I mean, that's legit. I mean, that's kind of legit. I get it. I mean, she's not questioning the deliciousness of the product, which I'm sure is unquestionably good.
She got mozzarella sticks, and instead she ordered mozzarella sticks and instead got cheddar. So, way to go, girl! Fight the man.
Yeah, good for her.
Yeah.
I don't know what the damages ultimately will be. I'm sure a jury of her peers will be appalled by this, and like $1,500 and probably a gift certificate for.
Yeah, something like that. Settlement.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I mean, yeah, I'm happy for her. I guess say that. She finally got one through.
Yeah, and nobody was hurt. Like, she didn't get burned by coffee or anything. It's a very sort of, it's just a transactional lawsuit. It's like, you told me you were going to give me this, I gave you, and it was cheddar, and that's not what you told me you were going to give me. So, I don't know.
We were going to make love. You said I was going to get HPV. I said okay.
Kind of exactly the same thing.
Where's the
Well, where's the mots? Do you guys want to plug it up?
Sure.
You, the ice cream manufacturer. You, the frozen food distributor. And you, the food retailer. Stand today in the midst of a selling revolution. For today, you're in a merchandising era of self-service, where display and accessibility are the key to successful merchandising. Yes, today's problem is merchandising. To sell in high volume for high profits, frozen products are impulse items, and impulse buying is primarily an emotional decision.
So, before I get totally into this, I just want to say one thing about Julia Fox. Do you know who that is? Anyone?
It sounds familiar, but not positive.
I don't know who she is either. But she dated Kanye for like 2 weeks, and she's a huge model now. I don't know. She's just, every time I open up CNN.com or Apple News, I see her name, and I'm like, who is this person, and who cares? But anyway, I just wanted to say that. And if anyone else feels that way, please send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Jabberjaw, with the space between Jabber and Jaw. And,
so we don't get sued.
P.O. Box 10112, Pueblo, Colorado 66129. That's an old joke. Yes. If anyone gets that, I'm
proud of you. That is an old joke.
Dawson's like, I don't know.
That was
anyway, that's fine.
What was that catalog, Tyson?
I believed in Ninja Turtles for a time, so I'm young. Too young.
What was that catalog, Tyson? It was like sort of like the consumer. I don't know what it was, but like it was like basically like before the internet.
It was
sent a letter to Pueblo,
it
Colorado.
was basically like yeah, like you could ask about anything. Like they had a bunch of different information that you could ask about. Whether it was growing corn or killing ducks or whatever it is. You could write to Pueblo, Colorado 66209. They used to have these commercials all the time. So
yeah,
I would be tickled if 66209 is actually the Pueblo thing, but I'm not sure. I didn't look it up. These are my headlines. Yeah. It was like if you had questions about anything from stamp collecting to putting your grandmother in a home, you would reach out to these people. Doss is giving me a look like I have no idea what you're talking about.
No. Nope.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's an old.
Sorry, too
thing.
young. Too young.
This week we watched we binged watched Wednesday, which is the Addams Family thing on Netflix. It was good. It was good. It was nice because it didn't get too into teenage bullshit drama, but it also was relatively interesting, not very scary. But the lead character who plays Wednesday is really likable, so that's a thing that's fun to watch. It's not going to win any prizes, but apparently it set records for the first week kind of thing. So anyway, we watched 8 episodes. We watched it all in one day. It was good. And the guy who plays Uncle Fester is a treat, and you'll find that out in episode 7. There's 2 shows that are on Discovery Plus. One's called Strangest Things, and it's about a bunch of different artifacts that are strange, and either there's a mysterious story behind them or an interesting story behind them. Highly recommend that. I've watched the last few times I've been in the hospital emergency room. The last 2 times. It was on Science Channel, and so I ended up watching it. I know there's a bigger story that I could get into about why I was in the hospital, but that doesn't matter. Anyway, the other show that's pretty interesting was America Facts and Fiction, which is also on Disney Plus. And the last thing I want to I should say about America Facts and Fiction, they have a budget of about $6. But the
Awesome.
but the writing is really, really interesting. Like one of the things was about the moon landing, and as you know, like one of the things they pointed out was when they were leaving, Armstrong looked back and noticed the American flag had fallen over, but they were already leaving, so they didn't go back and set it up. So the flag has fallen over on the moon, and no one has ever fixed it. So just different weird shit like that. And then I saw this movie on Riff Tracks called Street Law. And if you're fans of bad stuff, I highly recommend watching it. You can find that at rifftracks.com. And those are my plugs for this week.
Yay! Smith, you have some plugs?
I do. And before I get into my plugs, I did want to mention something that Tyson shared this week. There was a trailer for a movie that I cannot fucking wait to see, and it is called Cocaine Bear. And
I might flip there and see it with you, my friend.
Awesome. And here's the craziest part. Tyson sends me a lot of stuff, but this one I'm like, I need to check this out because Cocaine Bear is just like a great title. But then you get about 17 seconds into the trailer and you realize it's based on a true story. That I was hooked because I love like movies based on true stories, and I was like, holy shit. So look at the trailer. It looks just based on I'm sure you probably did a little bit of research on this, but just based on my impressions, it looks like a very high budget B movie. And that was the idea. Is that the idea? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it looks like a shit ton of fun.
I will also recommend, if you get a chance, if you look up the story about Cocaine Bear, there's a huge, interesting story about what happened to that bear because it was stuffed and then sold to a bunch of different places around the country. Waylon Jennings owned it for a while. I mean, so it's fascinating, the story, and it's actually in back in Kentucky, and you can buy little like you can buy little tchotchkes of Cocaine Bear and like little yeah no it's a
No, wait,
thing.
we go to Kentucky like all the time. It's not a far drive, so absolutely, I will locate them and bring some back for all of us because yes,
That'd be awesome.
Please do.
They nicknamed by the way, the bear ate like 46 different bags of cocaine and died immediately because you can't have that much cocaine and live. But yeah, like so the story is it's not true,
it's embellished
but
a bit, but
but the
that's
bear
okay.
did eat 46 bags of cocaine and immediately went into renal failure and every kind of failure you could possibly imagine. Yeah, but anyway, sorry, Matt.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, no. It's just good to know that even bears can do too much cocaine. So remember that,
Yeah.
bears.
That bear got married accidentally that night. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it's Smokey's lesser known cause, I think. So as I've mentioned, I've been sort of going through on Tubi all of the best of the worst sort of 90s Lifetime movies I can find. And the one I most recently watched is really probably my favorite so far. It's called Mother Knows Best, and it stars Joanna Kearns, who, if you're not familiar with Joanna Kearns, like Joanna Kearns is to Lifetime what like Leonardo DiCaprio is to Martin Scorsese. Like Joanna Kearns is just the
Now,
staple
what
actress
was she
for
in?
all these. What?
What was she in?
Well, she was the mother. She's probably most mainstream known for being the mother on Family Ties, I believe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Mother Knows Best stars Joanna Kearns and Christina Lease, who I had not seen in anything in a very long time. And I'm trying to remember, I'm having to look it up. But she played Emily Valentine on Beverly Hills 90210. I believe it was like the bad girl, Emily Valentine. I have not seen 90210 since it was on the air, so my memory is a little hazy. Yeah, I kind of want to rewatch it. I'm tempted now that I'm kind of gone down this path. Anyway, so basically, a summary of the plot. So this came out in 97. Those are really the only two notable people in the film. Now, what I love about these, though, is generally you will see all these random character actors. You're like, oh, that was that third friend from... Yeah, I mean, it's just like, there's just random people, and so it's a lot of fun. But premise is... so Joanna Kearns, very wealthy, sort of classy lady.
Classy lady.
Very wealthy, has this daughter, and she's been trying to hook her daughter up with a man, as you do, in 1997. And she, before the internet, so one morning she's got the personal ads out, and she sees a personal ad, and she's like, hey, and it says like, successful business owner, nice guy, looking to meet nice woman. And I want you to focus on those terms, nice guy, nice woman. And so she's like, Mom, I'm not going to do that. That's ridiculous. So anyway, she's at her job. She's a nurse. She gets a call at the office, and it's this guy. Well, her mother has taken it upon herself to write this gentleman and basically tell her about her, give her phone number, and set up a date. Well, of course they get talking on the phone, and one thing leads to another, and they do have a date, and they do start dating. But the mother finds out that he only owns a mechanic shop. He's not a successful businessman. He's a blue-collar employee, and she's not having this shit. So, long story short, there's a lot of crazy shit in between here and there, but she ultimately, basically, he does try to kill him at the end, and kind of a surprise twist, and it's quite good. Soundtrack's not the best. There was another one that I forgot to mention I watched earlier this week, where like half the soundtrack was the band Ash. Do you remember that band, Tyson? Like the kind of the indie, like from like I think they were British or something. It was weird. They must have like Yeah, they must have just had a weird licensing deal because like half the sudden they were like, rocking out for like Girl from Mars and her bedroom. I was like, what? It's like, this is not. But anyway, that was kind of random. So anyway, if you're if you can't afford a streaming service, Tubi and watch that film, that terrible movie.
What was the name of the first movie? I'm sorry, I forgot.
Sorry, Mother Knows Best is the name of it.
Mother Knows Best. Writing that down.
Mother Knows Best. Yes. All right. Very good. Second one is something I kind of just ran across on Amazon the other night, and I was actually really surprised. I've only made it through 2 episodes, but it's called Too Old to Die Young. Have either of you heard of this?
Mm-mm.
It's not. It's really the only person I kind of knew from it was Miles Teller. Whether you know who Miles Teller is, he's started to be in a lot of stuff. I think he's really doing a lot of good. It came out in 2018 or 2019, excuse me. It's not a series; it's a mini series. It's long. I think there's 10 parts, and each one's about an hour and a half long. But it's very good. It kind of reminds me of, if I had to compare it to something, kind of reminds me of True Detective a little bit, just in kind of the pacing and kind of the. I don't want to say it's quite as noirish as True Detective, but it's a sort of kind of pacing and weirdly darkly funny too on occasion. So really good. Like I said, I've only gotten through the first 2 episodes. It's one of those ones where you really got to pay attention. So it's not something you're just going to kind of blow through in a week, but I highly recommend checking it out. And again, that's Too Old to Die Young. It's on Amazon Prime. And last one is this debuted at the end of November on Hulu, and it's called Welcome to Chippendales. I don't know if you have seen this yet. Really, really, really good. I'm going to let someone else pronounce his name if they know. I don't know how to say Kamal
Jamani. Is that right?
Kamal Jamani. So I totally massacred that. Well, apologies to what Tyson.
It's like Paul Giamatti, but not.
Oh, that's a good way to do it. But yeah, really good so far. I think there's 4 or 5 episodes. We just got caught up last night, and it's very, very good show. I've been really impressed with it so far. Kind of reminds me of Glow. I don't know why.
Big time.
A little bit.
Yep, same. Totally agree.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Glow. But just excellent if you haven't checked it out. There was, I think there was a Chippendales documentary that we may have watched 3 months back on one of the major streaming services that was okay. But this is just, it's much, I don't know, it's really good. It's just really, really like how they did it. And probably, if I had to recommend one thing over anything else, I'd say, watch Chippendales. Because there's a lot of, what do they call it? Banana hammocks and...
There's a lot of dongs flopping around. Just say
there's
that.
A lot of floppy dongs. Oh yeah, a lot of floppy dongs. But it's all in good fun. That's it. That's what I had this week.
Those are good. You guys fucking killed it. I just have a couple quick ones. My first one is a movie trailer for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Have you guys seen that?
I have.
Are they doing another one? Is this like Indiana Jones 6?
When we end this, get on YouTube and watch that shit.
It's awesome.
And watch it like 3 times in a row.
Is that a Disney property now?
Yeah.
I don't know, Tyson. Do you know? Is it?
It's Lucas.
It is, okay.
Yeah, but it's also Phoebe Bridgers
Yes, I was gonna say Phoebe Waller-Bridges is in it, and I didn't know that she was going to star in it, so I freaked out, of course.
She also did some punch up on the script, so
Of course she did. I love her. I have a girl crush.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, she's awesome. But the trailer is so good; it'll get you excited for next summer. And then I watched a new documentary on Showtime called Meet Me in the Bathroom. You guys both have to see it. Everybody has to watch it. If you liked all of the bands coming out of New York in 1999 and then carrying into the early 2000s and just really I liked how they juxtapositioned the Strokes' Climb and then the Interpol and like other bands like LCD just kind of like sitting there, like waiting around almost to like find their own rhythm. And then it's like, before you know it, the Strokes are downhill, drugs, bullshit, like all this stuff, and Interpol's going up. Fucking LCD Sound System is like coming together, which I never knew that story before of how they formed, and that was really interesting. And it's just cool to see like venues like Webster Hall and Arlene's Grocery and like all of these like great places used to see bands at in that period of time. And they talk about the IAS, and you guys know I love Canada, so it's a great love letter to that music and the city, and you have to watch it.
What was it? Showtime? Is that what you said it was
Showtime.
on?
Yeah. Yep.
Thanks.
It's on Plex.
Showtime. Or the Plex, courtesy of Tyson. If you would like Tyson's Plex password and username, please message us at Jabberjaw.
Send a self-addressed stamp envelope to
Stamp envelope. He probably will give you one.
He will.
I will. I'll give it to you. Send me a
Tyson loves mail. Like, he really does. Yeah.
I do. One of the greatest things that's happening right now is that my daughter-in-law is coming and she's sending all her Christmas gifts here. So we're getting packages every day, and I have to open them up and tell her what arrived. So it's like opening gifts for myself every day. It's fantastic. It's like
That's fun.
It is. It's super fun. Anyway, those are very nice. I'm gonna watch that Meet Me in the Bathroom thing. I thought that was a very clever name for a New York style thing. Anyway, so I'll watch it. It's good.
Yep, I loved it. That is all, gentlemen.
That is all.
That's it. Wow.
That's it. Look at us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ending early.
I just want to apologize if the sound is weird, because like I literally every time I talk, it's about a 2-second delay, and I can hear you guys hear me later. So hopefully this all cleans up when we do this thing.
Yes, we will. We'll see how it comes out in the wash.
You guys have no idea how much nightmare Dawson deals with every week. I was gonna say we deal with, but we don't. Matt and I don't do shit. Dawson has to write emails to everyone.
I've already started forming one, so it's fine.
Anyway, it was great talking to you guys. Let's do one this weekend.
Absolutely.
All right, done and done.
Absolutely.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Cue the music. 2, 3, 4.
Oh.